Good evening, this is Lars again with a follow-up video where I will show you how the AI assistant project has progressed. What I'm talking about here is my BookTalk experiments, which is just me spending a week playing around with our APIs, especially the content block API and our APIs to extract metadata from the book in order to create like a conversation with any book that you open. How this works behind the scenes is that when I open a new chat session with a book, uh, this, for example, is a book I've never opened before. So if I go to BookTalk here and open this dialogue and I ask it a question, what it will do behind the scenes is use the content block API, make one big HTML document out of the entire book and send it up to the OpenAI Assistant API. What the Assistant API then does is to chunk it up into pieces, throw it into what's called a vector database. And then when I start asking it questions, OpenAI will then search the vector database using what's called semantic search to find, reasonably relevant portions of the text. It will extract that, of course, or return that and give that to the large language model, which will then make this into natural sounding response. So I've opened up a book about Malta that I bought a couple of years ago when I went there. Would be the typical book where you would need help maybe from an AI assistant. So what I will do now is that I will ask it something like, what's good to eat when in Malta? Ad hoc now, the book is getting processed, getting uploaded, and a new assistant is actually created because an assistant can be like a good representation, like a logical containing unit for conversation with the book. Okay, so we got a response back, examples of what you could eat. What I've added now is a way for you, a convenient way for you to just ask the book for a direct quote from the book text. The reason that is important is because it bases the response on something that came from the actual book. It still has a tendency to hallucinate and lie to you. So I think it's super important. It's not like when these generative models like add an extra petal to a flower or something. When that happens in text, that's a factual error and has real world consequences in the way that like an error in a rendered image may not be as consequential. So anyways, now we got an actual link to click on here where you can go to this specific location and actually confirm that these goodies here is actually something you can eat. Yes, it linked me or gave me something where I could read about food, but it was not actually a quote that represented the answer it gave me previously. So maybe we can ask it to, are there more information about food you can give more? Let's see. Different occupiers introduce their food stuff and dishes. Interesting. Again, we can go here and read more about that stuff. And now we actually ended up in a location called Eat Drink Like a Local, which seems very relevant. More, we can ask for what's fun to do maybe when visiting Malta. Yeah, and I got some nice tips on what I could do. Again, let's see if we can get some more precise links into the book. And yes, I'm really interested in the ancient underground burial thingy, so I think we can continue asking about that. Um, yeah, and here it was nice enough to give me a quote as it is actually instructed to do in the text to begin with. Yeah, so you can see it's actually kind of helpful, and especially I would say I'm guessing for somebody with like visual impairments that would have a hard time maybe browsing through a book like like I do. Having this way of being able to like converse with a book should be really helpful, I guess.